What are we doing right now, bro?
We are going back to a specific location where we saw chicken of the woods, which I found out about maybe last year. But by the time I found out what it was already like too dead to cut off and eat it. So it's currently November 12th, my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Mama. I just released a collection called Remember Who You Are, and it's like 4 p.m. I finished all the computer work. I'm like kind of going crazy a little bit. So we take Mally on a walk before cooking dinner. And we're walking, and I spot a chicken of the woods.
Which she says, chicken in the woods! And she starts like
Jumping up and down,
like excited. I literally start looking for a turkey because I can't think of anything else that could possibly mean or be what the term chicken in the woods means. I'm immediately looking for a big bird.
Chicken of the woods.
Chicken of the woods. Maybe that's a turkey.
So yeah, chicken of the woods grows only on dying and decomposing trees. It's like all these little bugs. Obviously, I have to clean that off before I'm cutting it. But I think it's pretty like tough. Okay, Rocco, so what is like a little prayer, or how do you ask Gaia if it's okay to cut this off?
Well, first we expand our energy field with a deep breath. Exhale. Allow our chi to connect to the chi of this. Even though this tree is dead, it's still a living energy form, and it's taking up ether. So we say, Mama Gaia, if it's okay with you, we would like to take this mushroom and bring it into our food. If that's okay with you, and if that's okay with you, tree, we're gonna remove this mushroom as it is a blessing to us. So thanks for blessing us with this mushroom.
And nourishment and like fun, creative recipe opportunity.
Yeah, thank you. So if that's okay, is that okay? I'm hearing yes.
I'm hearing yes too. Apparently once you cut it, it grows back time and time again in the same spot.
Wow. Well, that'll be exciting to see.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Maybe I should have looked up how to cut it. I mean, like all individually. I guess I'll just see how it comes off. This isn't poison ivy, correct?
No, I'm not real good with the aesthetic.
I think I looked at a picture of poison ivy recently, and that's not poison ivy.
Okay.
Thorns.
Those are thorns.
Those are thorns there.
Seems like a rubber material. Maybe one layer at a time.
Oh.
There's some of it. Whoa.
That looks like salmon. Apparently it literally tastes like chicken.
What the heck?
And it kind of looks like chicken.
What the heck?
These textures are crazy.
Okay, there's the first part. looks like it could be jackfruit.
Yeah. Whoa.
It's like a sea creature. Wow, it smells like something.
It's potent. That smells like psilocybin.
Yeah, well, it smells like Deems Aronia. Looks like a big piece of ham. Man, look at this texture. I mean, it literally looks like it could be turkey meat. Or chicken.
Let me get a video of you smelling it.
Okay. Don't tell my mom I'm playing with mold. That's definitely a cousin of psilocybin.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a big petal of a flower, but it looks like it could be chicken.
Yeah.
Whoa. You gotta clean this thoroughly.
Yeah, I know.
Cutting it out.
I cut a piece off. It's pretty satisfying.
I mean, it's like rubber.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me think of that scene Pirates of the Caribbean where homie's got like sea creatures like crawling around his face and he's like part of it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, what if this was like a little tree man, like his arm.
It looks so good with the color of your beanie. Just kind of makes sense.
Homie ghost. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know how to get feedback.
Oh.
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 Oh. Oh. Oh my gosh. Looks like a
Oh, that might just come right off.
Whoa. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh!
It's like I just took off a person's body.
Body part?
Look at that.
Careful with that.
Okay. Did you hold this? I'm gonna hold this.
These body parts. Like, you know what would be fascinating to see?
Tell me.
So you can see it going into this crack in the tree right here.
Yeah.
So what does the root of it look like? Like inside of the tree. So if this is decomposing the tree from the inside out, this must be all inside the tree.
Oh my gosh.
Which is just crazy to think about. Like if we could take an x-ray of the tree,
That would be crazy.
Okay. Thank you, Mama Gaia.
Thank you, Mama Gaia.
Thank you, Mother Nature. Thank you, Chicken of the Woods. We'll maybe see you again.
We'll check back in for another batch sometime soon.
This is gonna be like a whole Thanksgiving feast. Like this is like maybe 3 pounds of Chicken of the Woods.
How much would that cost at Whole Foods?
Huh?
How much would that cost at Whole Foods?
Oh man, $40?
At least. Wow, so you feel like that was your mama's blessing a little bit?
I feel like that was, I told Rocco when we were walking back to get the knife, I feel like this is Mom, not the mushroom, but just the whole experience. Yeah, like I said, I've been wanting to try Chicken of the Woods. My mom loved to cook. She was like a savant in the kitchen, but made it seem so simple. Especially with vegan things, when I went vegan, she would just like whip up incredible vegan meals. So I feel like it's definitely her on her birthday.
Definitely connected to the theme of remembering who you are.
How so?
Well, how would you say? How does picking food
well,
from nature?
Nature is a huge code in remembering who you are. And even like before walking outside, I was like, oh, this is so much, that was so much, that was so much. And then I was like, okay, Rocco, I'm shifting my attitude to an attitude of gratitude, no more complaining. And then walk outside, take a walk into nature, and we just happen to find and come across some chicken of the woods. And boom, I feel connected more to the source of who I am, and I feel way better. No more complaining.
Paul Stamets would love this.
He would. We'll tag him in the video.
So remember who you are and go foraging and see if there's anything in nature you can eat.
As I'm sure you guys can tell, I was really hyped about this whole experience. So as soon as I got inside, I looked up some videos on how to trim and cook chicken of the woods. And I know in this video I said that I would have enough for a Thanksgiving feast, but that just was not the case, because once I learned how to trim it, I realized not all parts are edible, and a lot of these pieces were tough, like hard. So the first thing I did was cut off any dirt or decay, and I was a bit nervous about this because I read that there might be insect larvae or, dare I even say, maggots. I didn't see any of that, luckily. It's a good little piece right there, I think. I'm pretty sure I trimmed it correctly, but if any expert foragers are out there watching this, please share your advice. I trimmed away the tough or woody parts and focused on the edges, which are the best parts to cook, apparently. And then I sectioned the pieces into 2 sections, one that I'm going to cook tonight, and then one I'm going to cook in the next couple days. Oh! So the recipe I decided on was a sauteed chicken of the woods recipe, which I will link below. I just think that's like an easy way to begin any new cooking endeavor, is a nice simple saute. I started by chopping some garlic. I didn't follow the recipe perfectly because I didn't have any shallots, so I heated the skillet with some organic olive oil, and once it was warm I added the mushroom, which it was really smelly in a good way. Once they cooked for like 7 minutes, I added the garlic and the salt and pepper, let that cook for a little bit, and then I flipped each individual mushroom, let it cook, added white wine vinegar, and then topped it off with some fresh squeezed lemon juice. Okay, I'm gonna try a little piece prior to putting it on our dinner, just in case it tastes poisonous. Here we go. Yes. Yes. Rocco, that tastes so good. I'm so excited for you to try it. I put the pieces over a stir-fried rice bowl with avocado, but in the next couple days I'm going to be making buffalo chicken of the woods with the leftover pieces, so stay tuned for that if I end up filming it.
Wow. Holy smoke. Thank you so much, bro.
You're welcome.
You just harvested this from the woods.
Can you just take a little nibble on just the chicken of the woods?
So what's the name of the actual...
It's like a whole name.
Name of the mushrooms or thing?
Yeah.
Oh. So this is good. I'm not gonna die.